What's good, ladies and gents? Super fresh, Adrien Soriano here, and I'm here to talk about the reason why you keep doubting yourself. And I know when it comes to me, there's been numerous times when I've come across the battle of self versus self. And what I mean by that is, there's come a lot of times throughout my career where there's been opportunities presented. And now it was up to me to make the choice on whether I take advantage of said opportunity or do I not take advantage of said opportunity. The reason why I've even ever had those kind of debates with myself is because of one reason: fear. A lot of times where fear had played a tremendous role in my career. Sometimes fear has won, but there's been a lot of times where I've been able to overcome fear. And when I did overcome fear, great things usually tend to happen. For example, when I was first starting out in the business, I would say maybe a year in, I was training at this pro wrestling school, and they were hosting a 3-day camp. And what this was, a 3-day camp essentially was like a 3-day seminar where they would bring guests in and you would spend 3 days training with these guests, whether it came to in-ring training, promo training, character development. And then these camps would usually end with a show on the last day, because the school that I was attended, they would also run pro wrestling shows. When this 3-day camp was presented, a lot of the times us students were like, oh man, another camp, because they happen pretty often. And not only did we have to pay for these camps, but we also had to kind of work our schedule around, maybe request some days off of work, because we knew that we had to devote 3 whole days to be at these camps. And when I was training at this time, I was also training with buddies that I've grown up with. I was usually in charge of driving us to and from training because I was the only one with the car at the time, so these guys relied on me. And when this specific camp came around, the guys that I would drive up with, they opted to they didn't want to do the camp. So when that happened, that's when the choice presented itself. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna do it, which means, or usually also, I forgot to mention, when these camps were held, we would also get a lot of visiting pro wrestlers, visiting trainees, students who would also do these camps in hopes for an opportunity, at the school that I was attending. So when my friends opted to not attend the camp, I was like, man, what do I do? Should I do it anyways? Or should I just skip this one because I know there's going to be more in the future and it's probably not even that big of a deal. But being who I am, I said, you know what? I'm going to do this camp anyways. Screw it. I feel like at the time I was making really good progress at this school, and I knew if I were to attend this camp that there's always the possibility of me, standing out from the class, and never know what can happen. So I was like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna do it. Even if it's just me, I'm gonna do it. So I attended the camp. What actually ended up happening was that I was the standout student at that camp. So I was rewarded with an opportunity to wrestle in the main event against a pro wrestler who was highly respected at the time. He was an independent pro wrestler. He's been around for a few years, and he was someone that we all looked up to. So on the last day of the camp, this is crazy too. So yes, this was within my first year of training. I think I've only had tag matches up to that point. And at this 3-day camp, this show, I was given my opportunity to work my very first singles match. And not only that, it was a 30-minute main event singles match. How crazy is that? Man, when that opportunity was presented to me, I was like, oh my God. But you know what? Screw it. Let's do it. And, I had the match. Obviously, not the best match, but it was a tremendous learning experience for myself. And that kind of opened the door for more opportunities to come my way during that time. I'll never forget what my coach told me during that 3-day camp. He said, I don't want the other guys holding you back. So you're gonna go on a singles run. And I'll never forget that moment, because that was a time where I took the chance on myself, and I was rewarded handsomely for me to take that risk. So if you know that there's an opportunity being presented, and if you were to take it, that there's something that you could possibly gain out of it, then just do it. And if you don't, at least you can say that you did it and you were able to garner some experience from it anyways. Because I went into it not expecting anything. I just wanted to show up and just show my coach at the time that I was willing to, be consistent and be a good student and be a good representation for the school. Because I know it would have meant a lot to him. And if I wanted to show that I was serious about being in the business, then me being a part of the 3-day camp was the least that I could do. I also want to talk about a time where I didn't take that chance on myself. And this is years later. I'll talk about a time where me and a couple of buddies we had an opportunity. This was an opportunity that I got for us. And essentially this was us attending an event to help out with the chance of possibly maybe getting some kind of opportunity. Day of, we showed up to the event, and honestly I showed up to this event with no expectation. I was just kind of happy that I was able to open the door for us, and that this could possibly lead to something down in the future. Like, I was in no rush for anything. I was just happy that we got our foot in, and I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. But regardless, we're here to help out and, make the most of this situation here. My buddies weren't really too thrilled with the fact that there may have been the chance that nothing was going to come from us being here at the event. And what ended up happening was, midway through the event, my friends decided that they wanted to leave. And they were upset too. They were kind of upset because they felt like they were above what was going on. And it hurt my feelings because, this was something that I got for us. Like, I got this opportunity for us. And then for them to think that that this opportunity was beneath them hurt my feelings. So when they said, we're gonna leave, that's when the choice was given to me. I wouldn't say by them, but this was a choice that I gave to myself. Or these are the choices that I gave to myself. I gave myself the choices that I could either leave with them, or I could stay anyways. If they happen to go, then I can just stay. And honestly, at this moment, oh man, like, I was really going through it inside my head because I really didn't know what to do. But my gut instinct, my gut feeling was telling me to stay. Stay. You made the commitment to show up. Make that commitment to stay. But I didn't listen to my gut feeling. I didn't listen to my instinct. And instead, I left with my friends. When I got home, but actually on the way home, I was heartbroken. I was so heartbroken, not at the fact that my friends wanted to leave, but I was so mad at myself because I felt like I broke my character in that moment. I didn't listen to myself. I did something that I know I wouldn't do because I'm not that kind of person. And when I got home that same day, I started crying like a baby. I was crying to my girlfriend, and in that moment, I knew something had to change. From that point on, I have never made that mistake again in my life. It was a tremendous learning experience, and as hurtful as it was in the moment, I'm glad that I went through that because I've been able to develop as a person, and that is something that I've been able to take with me moving forward. Like that, it's a moment I'll never forget. And it just goes to show that you should always opt to do what's best for you, regardless of the situation, regardless of the opinions of others. Just do what is best for you so that you can be happy with your decision and be proud of the decision that you was able to make. Sometimes the best decisions that we end up making in our lives, they can sometimes be the most difficult. But it is those decisions that determine, the future for us. So I would say really take into account how you feel about that current situation. And if it's something that you feel like you should really be doing, then obviously make that right decision. And if it's something where you like, I should not be doing this, then I think that's the time where you can opt out to not do whatever that thing may be, because it may not be in your best interest. But remember, ladies and gents, the key here is to stand out. So always make the decision that'll help you become the best version of yourself. So that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Guys, I appreciate all the support on YouTube. I've been having a blast making these videos. You guys have been killing it with your support. So please, if you enjoyed this one, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, drop a comment. Share your stories. Let me hear them. I want to know what kind of stories you've had where you've either chose to work with your instinct and gut feeling, or maybe a moment where you worked against it. Let me know if it worked out for you, if it didn't, what were some takeaways, what did you learn? I would love to hear all about it. All right, everyone. See you on the next one, and stay super fresh.